Alin Tasciyan, a movie critic who started her career as a journalist, met with CivilNet in Istanbul. Alin was also elected president of the Turkish Critics Association, becoming the first female to hold the position. Tasciyan has been an advisor and programmer for many film festivals in Turkey. She has served in several national and international film festivals juries. She was also elected the vice president of the International Federation of Film Critics in 2010. Since 2008, she has been a critic and a columnist for the Star Daily newspaper and the news channel 24.
I was born in Istanbul and I grew up on one of the nicest spots on the Bosphorus, which is called Arnavutköy. And then I had quite a big family at the time.
Your parents also were from Istanbul?
Yes, my parents are originally from Istanbul. My father's side come from Skutari, Üsküdar, which is on the other side, İcadiye, Kuzguncuk. Well, in many documentaries it is described as the place where all the three religions lived in harmony. You know, it was that kind of place. And my grandmother's mother's side also from Istanbul, but my maternal grandfather is from Konya. Journalism was the profession which attracted me because I love to read. Very early, I remember like 11 years old, 12 years old, I wanted to be an author. But I was bright enough to discover that requires a lot of talent and dedication, and it's not the profession, it's a talent. And then I was reading, I think because of the Turkey's current situation, I was like quickly politicized, I got an interest in reading the newspapers, especially the columnists, and which build up more or less my identity now. So I decided that I should become a journalist. The politics of Turkey tired me out very easily, you know. And I began to get much more interested in all the art forms and cinema. First theater, the theater, dance, ballets, operas, I never missed anything. And then I fell in love with cinema, of course. It came later because, I was born in '69. In 1980, there was a military coup in Turkey, and afterwards, all these, beautiful old cinemas were like, places that you couldn't go out on the streets much. There was a very hard, severe censorship. Many films were not distributed. There wasn't even the notion of a film festival. I mean, something had started in these years, but I didn't. So I just began to discover it with the video thing, Suddenly there was video in our lives, and all these films, they came from everywhere, And then I began to watch like real films, not those so-and-so American films that are released. Then I fell in love. So, and the TV had very nice film programs. Identity, in ethnical identity, it is never, or religious identity is never a problem among us.
Alin was also involved in the Armenia-Tirkey Cinema Platform, which will take place in Istanbul from the 14th to the 16th of April, as a parallel event to 33rd International Istanbul Film Festival. The platform aims to facilitate filmmakers from both countries to work together, to establish a shared vision on cinema in both countries, and to help increase the number of joint productions.
Well, Armenia-Tirkey Cinema Platform was founded 5 years ago. They're going to have their 10th meeting in Istanbul Film Festival. They have 2 every year, and after the first year they immediately found finance so that they could support films. So it's usually like any other co-production platform. People apply with their projects. There's a jury which evaluates the project and finds out which can contribute, which cannot, and then those who are selected are invited to meetings, and they try to find out means to make their films. And there's also prize dedicated, and one prize is given to the best project. So this is the way it evaluates. So I was like let's say involved, and then helped to put the platform a little bit on the international arena, but now that it's really very quickly established and working very well. in the old times, Armenians were also quite a lot, I mean, involved in the cinema, but some of them did not use their real names. You know, or some of them doesn't have the yan, so you would know, you wouldn't know. But like one of the most important Turkish popular directors of this Yeşilçam, the Green Pine era, is Aram Gülyüz, and he is just making his new film now. So, you know, so like one of the most beloved supporting actors was Nubar Terzian, or it was Kenan Pars. I mean, he was known as the name Kenan Pars. He passed away, but his real name was Kirkor Cezveciyan. So, I mean, there were others, you know, then people were involved in many things, but it never like came out like an Armenian thing or the Greek thing or the Jewish thing in the cinema all the time, because Istanbul was already very cosmopolitan in those times. You know, when we're talking about the history of the Turkish theater, especially, Turkish theater was born by the, you know, out of the Armenians, the Gülyagop, the company, and many others. All the first actresses, for example, are Armenian, because, as you know, the Muslim women were not allowed on stage. So, like even from the Ottoman times to up to now, they were very much involved. But what happened in between is a tragedy, of course. The lesser our communities became, and then the lesser we saw names on the stage or on the screen, because people began to emigrate, and they were forced to emigrate. In a way, they ran away. They left Turkey, not only Armenians, everybody. And now we are left as like very small minorities. So, I mean, out of 50,000 Armenians, how many directors can you expect to come out? Yeah. Which is still quite interesting. For example, in our association, we are like 2 Armenians. It's okay, Janet Barış, our dear friend, is also there. And we have like other friends who are beginning to write, maybe in other publications, more will come out. Short films and documentaries are like easier to make, so there are many others. But we have Arem Perdeci, who has done his first feature film and is going to do the second one. And we suddenly have Lusin Dink, who made a very successful docudrama, Saroyan Land. So, I mean, there are many others who are doing their shorts and documentaries. But as like the feature film, of course, we are still waiting for like a. But I mean, we can also consider Özcan Alper as the hemşetsi, because he is from the region. So, as a mother language, he speaks Armenian, but it's a different kind of ethnicity, you know. So, well, of course, it will grow. I think it will. They are more and more encouraged now.